What an unbelievable game-winning shot by Luka Doncic to down the LA Clippers, and even that series up at 2 games apiece. And folks, can I just say the NBA playoffs have been absolutely unreal. They have been a blast, and I want to talk to you guys about it. So let's get into it. What is going on, y'all? Faiz Sports Talk back at it with another video talking, of course, some NBA here to talk about the NBA playoffs. So I know I have been able to, talk a lot about the playoffs. I've been kind of, watching every game pretty much and waiting to see once, the series finishes and etc. and highlight the big moments. So, and this was certainly one of those, right? Luka Doncic hitting that game winner against the Clippers. So I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about the Celtics sweeping the Sixers and the problem in Philly and what they need to do now. I'm going to talk about, obviously, the Raptors beating the Nets and sweeping them. So just going to talk about all of the playoff series a little bit. But let's start with the Clippers and the Mavericks. And if you guys aren't following me, by the way, on my social media, you guys need to, because that is where I'm doing my live tweeting and all that stuff, okay? So follow me on my social media and make sure you're subscribed to the channel, okay? So let's talk about this game, okay? Let's talk about the Clippers and the Mavericks. How good is Luka Doncic, folks? I mean, come on, folks. Absolutely unreal. This kid is just 21 years old. And, folks, I'm telling you this right now. This is not hyperbole. This is not prisoner of the moment. I don't think there has been a better player at 21 years old in NBA history than Luka Doncic. Not Michael Jordan, not LeBron James. That is not to say Luka's better than them. Please do not get that mistaken or misconstrued, okay? All we are saying, or I am saying, I should say, is at 21 years old, Luka Doncic might just be the best player this league has ever seen. And he certainly is putting up the numbers that no 21-year-old has ever put up. Not MJ, not LeBron. Okay? Unreal, folks. The man had a 43-point triple-double today. 43 points, 17 rebounds, 13 assists, 2 steals, and a block. Oh, and he had a bad ankle, too. So he did it on one good ankle, folks. So Luka Doncic is unreal. He's the truth. And it's funny, when he hit the game-winning shot, I thought it was going to hit the back iron and just kind of like bounce up. I'm watching the game live, obviously, with my family, and the shot goes in, and I'm going nuts. I'm going wild. I'm not even a Mavs fan, but I'm just going wild because obviously I was so happy and ecstatic to see that shot go in, and so was Luka and his teammates, obviously. But, folks, just absolutely unreal. And I'm telling you right now, Luka Doncic is a top 10 player. There's no debate about it. I don't want to hear about it anymore, okay? Here are the list of guys that are better than Luka right now, okay? And Luka's a top 10 player. LeBron James, number 1. Number 2, Kevin Durant, when healthy, obviously. Number 3, Kawhi Leonard. 4, Giannis Antetokounmpo. 5, Anthony Davis. 6, James Harden. 7, Steph Curry. 8, Damian Lillard. And 9, Luka Doncic, okay? That is the list. Okay, and Luka's going to quickly move up on that list, so get ready. But Luka Doncic is a top 10 player. There is no debate any longer. I don't want to hear about it, okay? Unreal. So let's talk about the Clipper side of things, folks. Look, folks, the Clippers should be ashamed right now. They should be downright ashamed to lose a game in which you had a 21-point lead, and the Mavericks didn't have their second-best player in Kristaps Porzingis. And you lose that game, and Luka Doncic is not even 100%. He's got a bad ankle and you lose that game. Clippers should be ashamed, folks. And this is why I tell you, the Clippers, to me, have been a tad bit overrated. Okay? A tad bit overrated. They're everybody's title pick, right? My title pick is the Lakers. The Clippers are everybody's title pick, but you clearly see what the biggest issue is, and that is their secondary star, Paul George. Okay? AKA, he wants to be known as Playoff P, but he's been playing like Pandemic P. That is what everybody is saying. And it rings true. Paul George has been awful, abysmal, just downright, just disgusting with this play. Okay? Just can't hit anything right now. And he's a no-show. He's a complete no-show. If Paul George is even adequate, not even good, just adequate, this series is 3-1 right now. Or the Clippers could potentially have won the series already. I'm telling you this right now. That is how bad Paul George has been. And when your secondary star is not able to come up, that's what happens. And that's why I like LeBron and AD. Because, again, it does not matter how deep you are if your stars don't show up. And LeBron and AD are better than Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. And let me just tell you this about Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard is at home right now. He's probably thinking a lot because he had 3 choices. 3 choices, and somehow he still managed to mess up. Choice number 1 was stay with the Raptors. And who's beating this Raptors team with the healthy Kawhi Leonard? Number 2, team up with LeBron and AD. And who's beating that team with LeBron, AD, and Kawhi? No one. Or number 3, team up with Paul George. And Kawhi ends up doing number 3, teaming up with Paul George. So there you have it, Kawhi. I hope you're happy. But in all honesty, folks, I still expect the Clippers to win this series in 6 or 7 games. But honestly, they've been a little exposed to me. They're a little overrated. Paul George has been shown to be a little overrated as well. He needs to step up. Okay, he just does. Or they could be in some serious trouble. Okay, because if the Mavericks smell blood, I mean, I'm just saying. But Luka Doncic is unreal. Let's just talk about Luka again. He is unreal. Couple of quick thoughts on the other series. So the Celtics swept the Sixers. And folks, I'm not surprised the Celtics won. I predicted them to win the series, but I did in 6 games. It ended up being a sweep. And that's the problem here. It's not the fact that you lost. It's how you lost. And the fact that you couldn't even win a game. Now, Joel Embiid, he showed up the series, okay? He put up monster numbers, so I'm not going to criticize him. Though I do think he can be a little bit better. But when Tobias Harris and Al Horford are getting paid ridiculous amounts of money, okay, literally max contracts, I believe, certainly Tobias Harris, and they can't help you win 1 game. 1 game! You messed up. You messed up. This Sixers roster, I mean, I get it. They didn't have Ben Simmons, and that's when my prediction kind of went out the window because obviously if Ben Simmons is there, I don't think the Sixers are getting swept, but even without Ben Simmons, you should at least be able to win 1 game. At least 1 game. I mean, come on now. So, Al Horford, his signing was abysmal. He never was going to fit alongside Embiid. That was awful. Tobias Harris does not deserve max contract. He's a very solid B player in this league, but he is not a star or a superstar. He's just not. All right, he's the 3rd, 4th best player on a championship team. And certainly not deserving of max money. And so the Sixers general manager, Elton Brand, he's got some things to work out, and who knows if he's even going to be there, if he's going to get fired for the awful contracts he handed out. Brett Brown, the coach of the Sixers, he could get fired because of the fact that, you know, he wasn't even able to make the roster work. So there's just something wrong in Philly, man. When you have that much talent and you can't make it work out, that shows you talent isn't everything. Chemistry matters, and it looked like an absolute mess in Philly. I don't know how they're going to get themselves out of that. The Raptors ended up sweeping the Nets. Not much to talk about there. Obviously, I predicted a sweep, and it ended up happening. Now, I will say this. I hope Kyle Lowry is okay. He had an ankle injury, and he left, I think, in the first or 2nd quarter, whenever it was. It was very costly for me because I had the man in DFS, and he's been just, again, bad luck for me, okay? Bad luck for me. And I've been rostering Paul George, too, in DFS, which has been just awful, okay? Maybe I just like burning my money right now. But point being is, I hope Kyle Lowry's okay, but we're going to get the Celtics versus the Raptors, and that is going to be a fun series, folks. I will give you guys my prediction for that shortly, maybe another video, but that is definitely going to like 7 games, possibly. So, no surprise there. Obviously, the Nets are playing for next year, so I expected a sweep. The other series in the East, the Bucks versus the Magic. I mean, again, that 1 game the Magic got at the beginning, everybody was freaking out. And we saw the Bucks came back, roaring back. They're going to win in this series in 5. Magic aren't winning another game. Then we got the Heat and the Pacers. Folks, I've been very disappointed with the Pacers. I don't know Domantas Sabonis, but they should at least have won 1 game. It looks like they're going to get swept. But shout out to the Heat. They're a deep team, folks. They're a deep team. I know you got Jimmy and Bam, but Tyler Herro stepped up. You got Duncan Robinson there, who's been solid. Jay Crowder solid. Andre Iguodala. Like, the roster is deep. And again, I know I just said deep doesn't matter, but I'm just talking about players stepping up. And I like that with the Heat. Okay, the Heat are a scary team to watch out for. And then real quickly, the series that I left out in the West, we got the Lakers, Blazers again. I predicted the Lakers to win in 5. I still think that's going to happen. That first game, they just needed to kind of get their you-know-what kick to wake themselves up. And you saw LeBron James, when he wants to score 40, he'll score 40, okay? This series, he's not worried about. He's worried about later down the line. So he's going to let his teammates pick up the slack. And we saw Anthony Davis do what Anthony Davis does. And then finally, the Jazz and the Nuggets, man, I've been very disappointed in the Jazz in this series. I don't know how the heck, the Nuggets in the series. I don't know how the heck they're getting outplayed that much by the Utah Jazz. But props to the Jazz, but I still expect the Nuggets to win this series, but they need to turn things around quick, fast, and in a hurry. How are you letting Rudy Gobert dominate you? The man has one move, okay? Literally, okay? Find a way to stop Rudy Gobert. It should not be that hard for the Denver Nuggets. So there you have, folks, my quick thoughts on all the NBA playoff series. It's been so fun. Make sure you're following me on my social media, guys. Make sure you're following me on TikTok. That's also where I'm posting a lot of videos, like quick snippet videos, Instagram, Twitter, all that good stuff. Follow me, guys. If you agree with my thoughts, let me know down below. If you don't, let me also know down below. As always, thanks for watching.